Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? How do you know your perceptions are real and not a figment of your imagination? Our senses, those gatekeepers of perception, help us navigate and understand the world around us. But what happens when these sensory channels are muted? When the chatter of the world is silenced and we are left alone with our thoughts? Could our mind open doors to unseen realities? This brings us to a fascinating psychological experiment known as the Ganzfeld experiment. The Ganzfeld experiment, a technique used in the field of parapsychology, pushes the boundaries of our understanding of the mind. This intriguing experiment delves into the mystery of what happens when our senses are deprived of their usual stimuli. The Ganzfeld experiment is conducted in a controlled environment. The participant is placed in a comfortable chair in a room lit only by a soft red light. White noise, a kind of sound that contains equal intensities of all audible frequencies, is played into the participant's ears through headphones. This creates a consistent auditory stimulus that is devoid of any specific information. The most peculiar aspect of the experiment, however, is the use of halved ping-pong balls. These are placed over the participant's eyes, creating a uniform visual field of nothing but the soft red light. This visual monotony, coupled with the auditory uniformity of the white noise, leads to a state of sensory deprivation. In this state, the brain, hungry for sensory input, begins to fill in the gaps. Participants often report experiencing vivid hallucinations, ranging from simple geometric shapes to complex, narrative-driven scenes. Some people have even reported contact with what they believe to be entities from another realm. So, are these hallucinations a mere byproduct of our brains trying to make sense of the lack of sensory input? Or could there be something more to it? The Ganzfeld experiment has been a subject of controversy and debate among scientists and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Two main interpretations of the hallucinations experienced during the experiment have emerged, sparking heated discussions. On one hand, some believe these hallucinations are merely psychological projections. They argue that the sensory deprivation involved in the experiment causes the brain to fill in the gaps, leading to the hallucinations. It's a bit like when you stare at a blank wall and start seeing patterns. Your brain is trying to make sense of the lack. On the flip side, there are those who claim these hallucinations represent contact with the spirit world. They see the experiment as a gateway, a means to tap into an unseen reality beyond our physical realm. Whether you believe in the paranormal or hold a more psychological view, one thing is certain. The Ganzfeld experiment challenges our understanding of reality and the power of our minds.